Today's ceremony not only marks the first official construction milestone of our newest submarine, but it also celebrates the man for whom it is named. A man who served in his country as a Navy enlisted sailor, a Marine lieutenant, Secretary of the Navy, and U.S. Senator, the one and only John Warner.
As a forceful advocate for the U.S. Navy and its submarine fleet, Senator Warner played a leadership role in the establishment of the Virginia-class submarine program, and it's fitting that a ship of the class bears his name.
Senator and Mrs. Warner, congratulations to both of you. It's an honor to have a ship named for you, and it's an honor to be selected as a ship sponsor. As significant as they are, however, they're small thanks, I think, in proportion to the devotion that you have shown our country in your lives committed to public service. Take a look at the sailors who man this ship. Submarine service is an elite force that combines both high technology and an austere working environment. On a submarine, every person places their life in the hands of every other person on that ship. That sounds scary to the outsider. However, once you meet the crew, you will know how they can come to have such confidence in each other. And to those who design and build these ships, we know that we place our lives in your hands as well.
We are amongst the very best shipbuilders in the world. As you can see all around you, the construction of the 12th Virginia-class submarine is well underway. In fact, although this is a keel laying, the first milestone, the ship is already over 60% complete. And through the successful commissioning of 9 ships of the Virginia-class, we have proven we know how to do this. This shipbuilding team with Electric Boat and Newport News.
Today's ceremony highlights our nation's commitment to a strong and robust Navy. The United States Navy must be ready to respond to the challenges that lay ahead, and this requires advanced, well-built ships. So it is fitting that the 12th Virginia-class submarine is named for a man who spent his entire career in public service advocating for our Navy and national defense.
And today is a great reminder of that here, naming this 12th ship in the class of Virginia-class submarines here after Senator John Warner. There will be a deep relationship between the sailors that sail aboard this submarine and the senator, and I believe also will act as a motivating force for those sailors of this generation and generations to come.
The skilled workers at this shipyard, which John Warner helped build through his many years of congressional support, will construct a Virginia-class submarine named after such a great and true Virginia-class statesman. To the skilled workers here, to Jeannie and John's family, Senator, you are a role model, a mentor, and a friend.
Today's distinguished speakers have told the story of our nation, from that second great war of the last century to Korea, to Vietnam, throughout the Cold War, to Iraq and Afghanistan, near 7 decades. And today, Senator, returning to your beloved Navy to lay the keel of a ship, a submarine, that in bearing your name in service through the middle of this century, or more than 100 years after that young 17-year-old first answered the call, you are forging a link to the generations of sailors who yearn to follow in your footsteps, a strong link in a long chain of Americans who understand with full recognition and devotion what this nation is and what we owe it.
I just want to thank my congressional people, the presidents and others, but I want to turn now and talk just a little bit about the men and women in uniform. I had the privilege of talking to these fine officers and gentlemen yesterday, and you all can break ranks and look over here a little bit. I got the podium. But I just want to tell you, and through you, tell all others, I wouldn't be here today had it not been for what the United States Navy did for me in training me in World War II. Those were serious times. During my boot camp was Iwo Jima. During my ace school for electronics was Okinawa. And we were all told and shown raw footage right from the battlefront to sober up 17, 18-year-olds. You're going to be a replacement for the last great battle. Well, we thank God, we thank many, that didn't happen. But we're a free nation because you and your predecessors, beginning with George Washington, have sat down and given your lives, your careers at various times to make the finest traditions of this country what it is. So I always salute the United States Navy and the United States Marine Corps for putting in the foundations on which this straggly old teenager finally got his sea legs and went on in life to do whatever it is I've done. So think of that on the tough days that, guess what? Someday you may be standing here, each one of you. Thank you. But today, this ship and its design and its sister ships are one of the most invulnerable platforms in the entire arsenal of our military. It has in it every single bit of high technology that can be brought to bear by the magnificent manufacturing base, educational base, laboratory base in this country. Nothing has been spared such that the crew of this ship, for years and years and decades to come, can help preserve our nation's most valued treasure, and that is freedom. And I'm proud to say that that signature will come off that ship, be down inside, because she quietly, as we used to say, the old submarine used to say, run deep and run silent, carrying out those missions. And it takes a special type of individual to be a submarine sailor. So my speech today is basically just to say thank you to all those who made it possible that I can stand here, that made it possible for this magnificent ship to bear my name, and with my lovely wife's initials there. I just want to again thank this grateful nation for all it has done for me. It is a land of opportunity second to none in the world to enable persons such as myself and such as each of you to achieve your goals. And it's only because of the military, frankly, they were able to continue. And strong leadership elsewhere keep that freedom for this country.
The privilege of being the sponsor of the John Warner is one of the highlights of my life. Navy tradition provides that both the sponsor and the namesake spirit become a part of the boat. But everyone who has contributed will be an integral part of the spirit and the force that makes the John Warner. This submarine, for all time, will carry the characteristics of her namesake. Forward-thinking, agile, vigilant, dynamic, courageous, offering service for the greater good, valuing education and intelligence, thriving on adventure and exploration, and doing what is best for America, protecting our freedom.
So now, without any further ado, we will move to the Keel, the Keel authentication piece, the Keel laying, where The senator and Jeannie will chalk their initials in the plate. So without any further ado, if Senator, Jeannie, and if Commander Caldwell will join me, we'll move over to the weld station. I'd also like to, while we're moving, introduce Mr. Matthew Schilling. If you'd please come forward. Matthew joined the shipyard as a welder about 2 years ago. Although fairly new to the shipyard, he's not new to welding or to Navy ships. Before coming here, he was a welder in the U.S. Navy and has served in the Naval Reserves for the past 5 years. In just a few minutes, he will weld the Warner's initials using the same techniques he uses each and every day to build Virginia-class submarines.
I hereby declare the keel of this United States Navy submarine, John Warner, has been truly and fairly laid.
I'd like to, at this moment, if you hold that kindly for me. I talked a great deal about the World War II and Korean decoration period that I served, that period, and how they all taught me. And I want to share the honor of this submarine with all 16 million that served in that period. And I have in my lapel here a little golden shaded pin. It isn't gold. And when you were released, and this was given to me in July of 1946, you were given a paycheck, you were given a train ticket home, and an honorable discharge, and 16 million of these pins were made. And I've treasured it all my life. But Captain Caldwell, will you kindly see that it's placed near the initials on the ship, and a little statement that I share the honors of this with all of the generation of World War II and Korea. Yes, sir. Thank you.